Hey everyone, Mike Christopher. I promised to do a follow-up review on the Tamron SP150-600. I did an unboxing. It's actually probably been a year. I know I'm a little late in getting this out, but you know how things go. So I've had a chance to use this, and this bad boy is an amazing lens. It has really performed extremely well. It's taken just about every challenge I've thrown at it and given me great pictures. I've been extremely happy with it. I know you'll love this lens if you're considering buying it. If I had one complaint, I'm not going to go over all the specs on the lens. You know, you can read up on that or check out every video. I figure you want to know, how does it work? How does it perform? What kind of pictures do you get? So if I had one complaint about this, and it's not really a complaint, it's something you're just going to have to live with if this is the lens you're going to purchase, is it is thirsty for light. You definitely need to give this guy a lot of light in order to get some great images. You know, but you're dealing with an f5 to f6.3 lens, and so what that means is when you're shooting at the 150 mark, f5 is the largest aperture you can get, and when you're zooming up to the 600 mark, f6.3 is the largest aperture you can get. So because of that, in order to get the lens, or I'm sorry, in order to get the shutter speed that you need to capture a really sharp image, if you think of the rule of thumb, you know, your shutter speed should match the millimeter of the lens. That means at, you know, 300, you should be shooting at 3/20th of a second. At 600, probably 750, if not 800, to make sure you're getting that maximum sharpness out of your image. Yes, it's got the vibration control, or I think that's what they call it, VC, vibration control. It's the same to Nikon's VR, vibration reduction, and it's basically got a built-in stabilizer to help compensate for that shake as you're holding it. But at these kind of magnifications, that vibration reduction, or I'm sorry, VC, vibration control, is going to definitely help. I mean, you absolutely need it with this lens, but it's not going to give you 2 or 3 stops compensation, or in other words, being able to shoot at that lower shutter speed. It just works a little different when you've got that much magnification versus like shooting with an 80mm lens, where you can go 4 stops below when you've got that vibration control and be able to still get a sharp picture. So in order to get the shutter speed where you need to go up, you can't bring the aperture any lower because it's already, you know, at 6.3 or 8.11 if you're really trying to capture a sharp shot. So you've got to bump that ISO up. Now, if you're dealing with an APS-C sensor camera or a crop sensor camera, you got to think at 600 millimeters. Wow, that's close to shooting at 900 millimeters, you know, roughly 900 millimeter lens, which is great for the magnification factor. But then you need to be shooting at 1,000th of a second. You might be able to get by with 850, maybe 750 if the subject isn't moving too fast. But really you should be shooting around 1,000th of a second, if not 1,200, to make sure you're getting those really sharp images. So you're going to have to be bumping that ISO up to make sure you can get that shutter speed you need. And like I said, that's not really a complaint. That's just something you're going to have to live with this camera. But considering the price point, I mean, that's a small price to pay. And with today's sensors, you know, they've got the high megapixel count, and so they're able to deal with that noise, and especially with the Lightroom and Photoshop, you can get that noise out. At the end of this video, I'll put up some pictures. We've got a wildlife park nearby that I went over and I shot some animals at, and I'll put at the bottom of the pictures what my camera settings were, you know, shutter speed, ISO, and aperture, so you can get a feel of what you need to capture these kind of shots. So as far as bokeh goes, or bokeh, however you want to pronounce it, this does a pretty good job too. Again, considering you're shooting at a little bit higher apertures. If it's a really busy background, it tends to come off a little contrasty, a little busy. But you know, again, if you want to do some post-processing, you can kind of help blur that out a little bit and get that a little bit creamier. Because you're not going to get the nice creamy bokeh that you're going to get out of a 2.8 or an f4 lens, but it still does a pretty good job considering at the apertures you're shooting at. All in all, I can recommend this. You know, I've been shooting with it, like I said, for quite some time now. It does an amazing job. It's a little heavy when you first start shooting with it, so you're going to have to build up your arm strength a little bit. But once you get used to it, it's not bad for hand holding. If you want to use a monopod, that's great. You may miss some shots because you don't have that versatility of being able to aim it wherever you want at a moment's notice. If you've got some wildlife flying in, or if suddenly something's a little higher or lower, you're going to have to pick up that whole monopod, and that's not very convenient. If you're doing some landscape with this, I know people say use wide angle for landscape. I've shot a couple landscape shots with this, and I put it on a tripod, and it did amazing there. And then you can actually go ahead and bump your ISO up and get that shutter speed down and everything else, so you can get those great shots. As far as carrying it around, I don't put this in my camera bag because it's just a little too big and it just takes up too much room. So I actually bought a separate case for it to carry it around, and I'll show you what that looks like. Take the lens hood, put it back down. This is the case I got. It's actually a Low Pro 13 by 32, and that's in centimeters. This case has worked extremely well for me. And so just to show you how it fits in, it fits almost perfectly. If you can see that, there's maybe 1.5 inches extra space on top. It's got this little pouch if you want to throw a CF card or, I don't know, something in there. And then it protects it very well, and comes with this shoulder strap, which is how I carry it. It's also got a little handle if you just want to carry it around that way. On the back, it's got some Velcro straps, so it's got two straps on each side, and that would be for a quick setting. If you really want to secure it down, the middle one's the one to use, because it comes down, pops up, and there's two Velcro straps. So this one attaches to the large Velcro here, this one attaches to the smaller at the bottom, then this one flips up and attaches to another patch there. So that's really holds that tight in case you want to, I guess, strap it around your belt or around, I don't know, something you're carrying if you want to carry it secondly. So I can recommend this bag as well. Again, it's the Low Pro 13 by 32. I looked right before I made this video, and B&H selling it for 40 bucks right now. Great investment if you're going to get this lens and want to carry it separately. That's a quick review. I hope you got something out of it. Please like, please subscribe, and have a great day. Thanks.